What's up, guys and girls? It's really late at night, but I really had to make this point because I felt it was really important. Um, so despite the small amount of people who watch my videos, I hope this gets through to everyone because I want to spread the message that there's different levels of bullying. And a lot of people might think, oh, the only level of bullying is the physical level where they give you a wedgie or they draw like a penis on your head or whatever. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This was spurred about because I was watching an episode of Big Bang Theory, and yeah, don't ask why. But long story short, I realized that these people, and obviously it's a fake story, but it's a good depiction of it. And I'm glad that the series sort of puts it into light. But like these people who were bullied all the time, the one chance they got to mock someone else with their advantage, which was intellect, they did. So they were verbally abusing this guy who was a typical jock, but now they had all grown up. Um, and long story short, they were intellectually making fun of this guy for being a lot stupider than them. And it's really really bad because I feel like this stuff definitely does happen, and a lot of times like it's not always someone's fault. Like for me, like you can easily get just like suckered into it. Like you think everyone's just having a good time, and then slowly but surely, like something in your gut doesn't feel right, and then you look back and you're like, these guys were being complete jerks to this guy, like whether or not they were nerds or not. Like it happens. Like I'm not gonna pull out any specific instances from my life, but I definitely feel like this can happen. Like nerds or people who are made fun of, um, or whatever, for whatever reason, they turn immediately when they have the chance. It's not like they think they're better because they've constantly been bullied by the popular guys in school or whatever. But then the one chance they get, they immediately like they play to their advantage. So um, they'll they'll make fun of someone for being stupid when someone's made fun of them for not being athletic, and it's just this constant cycle of stupidity. Um, and there's a line to be crossed when you push it to the extreme. On the other hand, if the guy is being a total prick and like exuding his stupidity and pushing it to the limit, I mean, you can't help but say like, "Hey, back off a little bit. You're not that. You're pretty dumb. I'm not. You can't just push everyone around because of that." Um, but yeah, long story short, if you guys know the characters of the Big Bang Theory, oh, this is gonna sound so nerdy, but you got Leonard, Sheldon, Howard, and Raj sitting there. Penny comes in with his new boyfriend. The boyfriend comes in. He's actually really, really dumb, but like actually trying to be friendly. And they're just constantly like making fun of him to the point of like verbal, like toxic abuse. And I think my audience is really, they're pretty good people, honestly. Um, and it's really funny because like there's a like despite there being a lot of good people out there, there's a lot of crap people out there. How do I know? Cause for the last couple years in college, I have made it a point to reach out of my comfort zone and approach guys and girls alike that I didn't know. And not always, but sometimes, especially with guys, and maybe it's because I felt it more comfortable approaching guys who were nerdy or didn't look that popular. Like a lot of them have like really screwed up mentalities, and they're sometimes really toxic. Um, Not so much in person, but a lot more so on video games. I play League of Legends, which is it's currently like the most played online video game in terms of people playing at a single time. Um, and definitely not everyone there is horrendous, but there is a huge toxic community that the game sort of brings out. But I think I have faith because even in that community when you meet them in person, like they're not horrible people overall. But it is like a huge like sort of thing like you guys kind of have to take into account. It's like um, I feel like there's definitely a group who like it's so funny because I don't want to point names or anything, but I feel like there's people I've met in my life who I try to become friends with, and then I realized these guys are like no better than anyone else. In fact, they're just as terrible. Because there's this one group um, that I used to hang about because of that's just like where I lived. Um, and this was in college, and they were really really nerdy and exuberant about it. They were proud of it. They did all the nerdy stuff, Pokemon, poker, etc., Super Smash Brothers, and it's like they were so nerdy and they were proud of it and stuff. But like, there's certain people in the group who, honestly, like, I don't even know what they were thinking. Like, I guess they knew that they were nerdy and not like the highest of the social hierarchy, and yet they would still like make fun of people and like talk bad about people behind their backs, and like like uh just like a lot of like underhanded stuff that you don't know what's going on. And they would do that to me, and I'd like walk into the room and I'd be like, what's so funny? And like it got to a point where it was like it was no longer joking about. It was like something serious was going on. Like you could see it in their eyes. They were probably making fun of me to the point where it was like, this is kind of sick here. Like they couldn't even like fake it. So like it's that kind of stuff is like really really like uh, like you're definitely not the highest of the social hierarchy, but you have this group and you're like the king of the group. So you feel like you have to prey on those weaker to feel some sort of power. And then there's like people in in college who have this like screwed up mentality, like they're like nerds, or they're just like not the highest of probably like the lowest of the social hierarchy, or down there. And they feel the need to sort of you know like bring up a fact of derision when they see someone who's um, like going out to a party. Um, and I know this one guy, and he's a great guy in a lot of ways, but like it's this mentality that he has that's it's kind of bad, honestly. Like I wish I had brought it up, but I remember once we were like, he's the guy who just plays video games every day, um, and so we don't go to parties at all. But like we're seniors in college, so we decide to go out to the convenience store to buy something. It's like a Friday night. I think it's Halloween Eve. So on our way out, we see like a girl who's like dressed up exceptionally slutty in terms of like very little clothing on, in like whatever, like a nurse outfit or whatever. And I'm thinking like, man, I don't even know what I'm thinking. I guess I kind of wanted to like go to a party or m- meet these sort of girls, but at the same time I knew like this girl was a little bit like, she like, if I were to talk to her, it'd be like you know what, like we would not connect intellectually. It'd just be like, party, beer, whatever. Um, but he immediately snapped back when the issue was brought up, and he was like, "You just walked past a well, um, like I think the long story short, I was like talking about something uh, we were talking about dressing up during Halloween, and one of the other people was like, no one dresses up for Halloween, and then he said something like, you just walked past, and he said something really like vile, like a slutty something or other, um, and like then he made another remark about it, like a freaking, like she's like a slutty retard or something like that. I don't know. But I was like, when I heard that, I was like, really, come on, like you can't just judge like that. It's like it's the same sort of thing. It's like um, people like ignore you for whatever reason because you're nerdy or you're not athletic, and then like you just whenever you get the chance, you do the same thing to them, but because you're smart, or not even because you're smart, it's just because you don't drink or whatever, so you call them like a drunkard. I think that's what he used. He used like he said like slutty drunkard or something like that. Um, and I mean, I just think that's a horrible thing. You're continuing the cycle, and technically, like you weren't invited to any parties anyways. So, I mean, you could say like you're only not like drunk or whatever because you weren't invited to any Halloween parties. Um, but you know, again, that begs the question. Like, if I were invited, I probably wouldn't be a drunkard. I mean, um, of the few parties I went to, that yes, I know I'm not the most popular dude, but of those, I always restrained from drinking, and like no one had a problem with it whatsoever. Um, but it's yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy stuff. Yeah, it's just like why continue the cycle? Why lower yourself to the same level, and why do any of that? And I know it can be hard sometimes. Believe me, in high school, uh, it was hard sometimes, and I didn't even like back then. It was just it was natural. Like it didn't really I wasn't really sure if it was the right thing to do or if it was really working. And at times, you know, like I didn't do a thing. Like whether it was because I was shy or just didn't know what to do. Um, there's like small moments where I was like some guy was like in class was just like constantly like throwing verbal abuse, and I was just like I don't know what to do, and it got tough at times, but I'm proud to say I got through it. I say like the best thing to do is like always improve yourself, because you can't always bank on the fact that like it's going to all end someday and it's going to be roses. I'm sure like someday in the future, maybe very soon, some prick's going to come up to me and he's either going to be a complete jerk to me or whatever. So it's better to just I won't I'm not going to use the phrase harden your shell, because that's not really changing anything. It's just making you like a cold robot person. But I would say just keep improving yourself. As Bruce Lee says, be like water. And it's never easy, but just flow like water. I wouldn't call it resilient, but like ooze past them like water. Um, and it'll work. And I guess try your best to surround yourself with the best people you can find. And I use those words specifically because there's a huge difference between that and trying to find the best people. Because at least for me, it's a huge difference, because like you have these huge standards and then like no one there satisfies them, and then you're alone again because you're unable to lower your standards in terms of finding friends you can surround yourself with. So find the people who are the best that you can find, that really have good thinking mentalities and can improve you, and just work with that. I don't know. That's all I can say. I hope you can guys can take this model and use it with all sorts of different um, life experiences that may be slightly different. As always, see you later.